How many of you guys have heard of a gentleman in America called Stanley Tam? Stanley Tam. One of my favorite things to do is read about the greats. I don't mean scripture, I mean that's great, but I mean modern history. Stanley Tam, when he was really, really young, wanted to be rich. He grew up in a Christian home, but he wanted to be rich himself, which is okay. It's a good starting point, right? Because the people that I meet who are like, I want to be rich, the process of business takes so long, it's so hard that on that journey, God changes their heart to be like, well, I want some, but I want to give some away too. So the journey's fine. Stanley Tam was young and he wanted to be rich. And so basically the idea he came up with, or I think his dad might have told him, was collecting silver. So when people processed photographs, you know, we're talking 1930, 40, you basically in a dark room used a liquid that contained silver, and then through light exposure you could make photographs. And then what would happen is 60% of the silver in that liquid was unrecoverable, so it just used to go down the sink. Stanley's like, mate, if I could come up with a way to collect that cheaper than the market price for silver, then we're going to do okay. So that's what he did. He built these collectors, sent them out to all the photo shops, and then they would put them in this liquid, and over a period of 60 days, the silver would stick to these collectors. They would mail them back in. He would then take the silver, smelt it down, build bars, and sell them on the open market. Brilliant. It was all going swimmingly until the spot price of silver went from 45 cents an ounce to 30, and he had zero business left. Along that, you know, that's what he kind of like was broke. I've lost my business. He goes back, you know, to his dad and goes like, you know, tail between my legs, and so he had $25 in his pocket, and his dad had 12. And he said, he did a deal with God. He said, God, I'm going to give you 51% of my business. I'm going to give you 51%. You are the CEO. I'm going to give you 51%. You are the controlling shareholder of my business. If you will just help me turn this business into being profitable. And so that's what he did. He goes to a lawyer, says to the lawyer, you know, I want to give 51% of my company to God. And the lawyer's like, you can't do that. It's impossible. And he's like persistent. So the lawyer says, come back in 3 months. So he goes away, comes back in 3 months, and he goes, I'm doing it. So they set up a foundation, and then they put shares on offer in their business, and 51% were given to this foundation. So they could channel 51% of their profits to this business and give it away. So he does that for a while. Immediately business turns around. Business starts making a massive profit. Everything's going incredibly well. Many, many years later, he was speaking in some town, and he felt the Lord arrest him and say, I want the other 49%. And he's like, surely you can't be greedy. I've given you 51%. You control this business. And God says, I want the other 49. So he goes and gives 49% more to God. And so basically now he's an employee. Along that time, they were packaging up their products, and it was profitable, making lots of money, funding evangelism in Japan, of all places, which just blows my mind. You know, when you consider the war and all of those things, that somebody would make all this money in America and then do evangelism in Japan, but that's a separate point. They're sending out these things in plastic, and they kept getting these inquiries. This is when plastic was in its infancy, packaging at least. Can we buy more? Anyway, sets up the US Plastics Corporation, builds this massive factory over the coming years, massive cross. Jesus is the answer, you know, and so just to tell the story, like to date, the US Plastics Corp has given away $140 million in evangelism. And along that journey, Stanley realized, I don't need much money, right? Let's make money and let's do something great with it. And God prospered that business massively to the point where it's given away so much money. See, here's a funny thing. We have to know those stories because they are real stories of real people in modern history. And you can have that story. There's nothing special about Stanley Tam. There's something special about his God. He's just a willing dude. And you and me need to be the same. Man, I'm getting all preachy up in this place.